Right, this is a fish tank feeder that to a certain extent I'm still going to be working on, but I've managed to get it working very well on a time delay to turn this stepper in this I've set it for 5 minutes, but can set it for any time I want, and for the buttons to also feed if pressed. So what it does, it as a delay, it turns at one rotation. This is all adjustable in the code obviously. So what it does, it has a delay for 5 minutes, then it turns one turn, another delay for 5 minutes, then it turns another turn, and it does that for 4 turns complete, and that will push this pusher thing forward. This is just a glue stick, an old glue stick I made a part for that goes inside. There's like a thread inside, so it converts the stepper, which is rotational, into a linear motion, and in there will go a syringe with liquid fry stuff in. Liquid fry, let's say the name, to feed babies. Now we might need an air pipe on the end of the syringe, something like that, full of liquid fry, depending where you want to place this. I'll just set it off going just now, so there's a 5-minute wait before it does anything, remember. Right, I'm just flashing the code over now. It stops after it's done the 4 turns forward, it automatically comes back, and then it stops the program. I'll put this clock on past, so we know what roughly. So can we see that clock? So at about 25 to, that should, well, you probably see the lights here change, and this should rotate, and the pusher here, what I'm terming as a pusher, is going to push the syringe. Actually, if I find my syringe, I can probably pop it in there. So basically you fill the syringe about 30 milliliters. Pop that in there, and then that would be full of liquid baby food. You've only got a short distance really for this to move, about 30, I think it can go up to about 50 millimeters at the absolute most, but I'm only doing about 30, or will be doing 30 once I adjust it a bit more. I haven't done the actual, because I wanted to just do one drop. I haven't done a test on that, but as I say, that's all adjustable in the script, in the sketch, what do you want to call it. Right, we'll pause the video. Nothing happens unless I press the buttons until it gets up to about 25 to. So I'll come back about just before 25 to, up to 25 to. I'm just going to actually, I'm looking at something in the script, I want to find this variable. I've got that variable. I wasn't sure if I had this variable. Actually, I wasn't sure if I was using this variable in the script, but I am. Is it script or is it sketch? There we are. You should probably see the lights going. Probably see that's turning here now. That's on 25 too. So that's moved this forward. Probably too much actually. But that's, as I say, that's adjustable. Then it stops and it'll pause until 22 the hour. Well, that's not the actual time. I'm just using this to guide every 5 minutes basically.
So it should be.
So let it do another 10, then I'll use the manual button. So fast forward about a minute, half a minute or so. I'll pause the video. This is the first time I've tried this, well, the first time I've tried the syringing using this new code I've got, so I might try to push it a bit too far forward. But it is definitely moving too far to push out just one drop. You just want one drop of baby fry liquid food in here, normally speaking. But as I say, that's adjustable in the code. Maybe another minute before 22 actually, looking at that, spot on. I've tried an awful lot. I've tried using the timer command, and that was causing problems of only splitting up the pulses on the timer. Instead of sending over a batch of pulses that this code does to do the whole turn, it was, there we are, it started turning out. Probably see the lights going, hopefully the camera can pick them up. So instead of sending a whole lot of pulses like it's doing there for one turn, it would send over one pulse, wait 5 minutes, send over another pulse, wait 5 minutes, using a timer control. Using delays was the same. So what I'm actually using here is a command called NoDelay. It's library that you need to download. I'm going to try, see it's paused at the moment, I'm going to try pressing the green button, which I think is feed. Just press it once, yes, it's going, it's feeding. Actually that's about the limit of it. And I'm going to press the yellow button, which is unfeed, which should be turning backwards. Yeah, but sometimes these buttons, you have to get these buttons at the right time. It won't do it while it's turning, so to speak, under the timer. Obviously, I don't think, anyway. The trouble here, when it does go back, it doesn't actually pull the syringe back. Maybe some sort of a spring or something on there. Let me do one more, going backwards. Hopefully we can see that. I hope I aren't going out there. See, that leaves a gap there. It doesn't like pull the syringe back. But it does have a software limit when it's done 4 turns forward, that it stops and it rewinds, well, unfeeds in a way, takes this pusher all the way back, or should do. Well, I think this wants 3 turns. I'm asking for 4 turns, but looking at that, it just needs 3 turns. That's something I have to adjust in the code, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it all the way back actually. So let's do one more. That's not a gear wheel there, it's just to help you grip if you want to turn it by hand. This is acceleration, deceleration, so it starts off slow and then it builds up speed and then it slows down and deaccelerates. That is about 30 milliliters there. Oops, I've got stuck. Bit fiddly there because I'm trying to do one-handed almost. Right. Now, because it's remembered the position, it should know that it's been took back in a way. I'll take it forward manually, 110. Might hear the motor accelerating and deaccelerating there. 2 turns. And 3 turns. So I think I've set it for 4 turns, and I think 3, obviously looking there, might need the tip of the syringe, the plunger. Actually it's right on the tip of the syringe, the plunger there. So only 3 turns, is that all I can get? Let's go back. Oh, that's forward. Oops. No, it's struggling there because it can't push any further forward. These are quite powerful motors, these. Press the wrong button. But that's something else in the software sort of limit switch, in a way. A software limit switch, no hardware limit switch, to say this is the end of the distance you can go. But that's set to 4 turns. That's why it's trying to go further than it should. Yep, so that works pretty well. It needs some tweaking, as you see. So 3 turns is enough to take it forward. See, that won't go any further back. On 1 turn. Oh no, it's come to the end of the script, I think. So I have to reset it then when it gets to the end of the script, sort of thing. I'm just resetting it there. Now we should be able to go forward if I want, manually. So that's 1 turn. This is the 2nd turn. Generally I like this with the bolt going through upwards when I'm doing it. But in this case it's coming over to this side. That's 3 turns. So I'm just testing whether it's 3 or 4 turns there, but you get the basic idea there that it is basically working. And that's using a NoDelay command, which is a library in Arduino which you can download and use that. That means that it acts like a delay, but you can still access things like buttons or other inputs, presumably outputs as well, while it's doing the delay. So I'm going to leave this and you'll see it move under the delay. It'll just pick up on the delay in 5 minutes. Now let me turn this manually. Sometimes this gets quite hard to turn manually because these are quite powerful, these motors. I do have a video about the torque on these motors. Right, we'll give this 5 minutes or so. There's my clock. So I just set that so it's not the actual time, it's the time I'm sort of setting this to. So about 10 to. I'll come back a bit, just experimenting a bit there, turning this. I found that having this sort of dent part here at the top means that I can pull the syringe a little bit further back. That might now give me like the 4 turns I wanted, but it won't be 4 full turns anyway, because we want drops of water. We don't want like a few milliliters, whatever it is. This syringe is just like an inkjet refill colouring ink paper, you know, that you squirt into your inkjet cartridges. That's all it is, inkjet JR I think it is. Got markings on. Give you a guide how many milliliters have been used. Just move that over a bit. It keeps sliding about on this desk. Get some vibration on it sometimes, and that'll make it slide. So we wait until 10 to. I'll come back a little bit, couple of minutes. Oh, I've just missed it. I missed most of it there. It's just done 1 turn. Might have caught the back end of it. I was concentrating on something else. But now we'll wait 5 minutes before it does the next turn. I just want to see how many it takes to get to the plunge out, so to speak, as far as it'll go. So that's 1 turn. Let's mark it on there to remind me. I'll come back when it gets near the end under the timer. No, I'll fast forward it a bit by pressing the button. That's, you might see that the push is slowly moving forward there. That's 2. This again, that's 3. I think that's 3. Now, there's such a small amount there that I don't think it's going to do another full turn. I think it might do half a turn. So I'm going to leave it at that. Let's just rewind it a bit. Just to show you that the buttons do work. Just pressing the button there. As I say, the buttons can only work when it's not actually in a way turning under the timer. So you can't sort of stop something halfway through. See how the gap's opening up between the syringe and the pusher. So I think 3.5 turns is about the maximum that this wants to go. So you push the button and it wouldn't accept it until it's finished turning. As I say, that is not a gear wheel, it's just to help grip. Right, that's enough of that for now.